Welcome to Sovereign Mamas, the podcast sanctuary for visionary women who are building lives, businesses, and legacies in alignment with their feminine power. I'm your host, Julia Jörg, intuitive business coach, mama of two, and systems strategist for solo-led entrepreneurs. Here, we honor both your sacred role as a mama and your wild vision as a changemaker. Expect soul-aligned strategy, raw storytelling, behind the scenes, and powerful conversations that support you in scaling your business without sacrifice. If you're done choosing between success and sovereignty, you're home. Let's begin. Welcome back to another episode on the Sovereign Mamas podcast. I'm just rubbing my hands to create some energy here. It's the evening in Bali, and I'm tuning into, I don't know, I feel this is a special episode. Welcome, Katherine. I know we've rescheduled quite a few times, and I truly believe that there's always a higher reason. So I'm very curious. You said you're doing better, you had some health things going on, and now you're here. Welcome. I'm excited to chat to you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I think we connected on I think it was Facebook and just the Sovereign Mamas. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh no, maybe it was Threads. I don't know. But I
Yeah,
was
it could be
just
both.
so
Yeah, it's
drawn.
been some time
Yeah,
now.
so
Yeah.
drawn to it. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to chat with you. And yeah, I'm feeling better and we're doing it.
Yes, let's go. And maybe let's start with that. What is it that makes you say yes to like the name Sovereign Mamas? What do you connect with that?
Yeah, the word sovereign has been something it's been a very powerful word for me. So one of my core values is freedom. And the word sovereign is just, it's kind of like the mimic of that for me. So anytime I see the word freedom, the word sovereign, anything where it's like I have full ownership and full control, but the ability to create what I desire in my world and in my life, I get so lit up about that. I'm like, oh, that's what I want. That's what I want other people to experience. So when I saw that, I was like, she gets it.
Yes, yes, amazing. That's how I feel too. And you know, what's so funny is the more you lean into that and the more you really go all in, suddenly you realize this is not just in your head. It's like you attract those who get it, and then it kind of feels like there's waves going out, and it truly creates that ripple. So what is it that you do, and what is maybe something that you're really passionate about sharing in your day-to-day life?
Yeah. So what do I do as in like for business side of things or just on a regular basis? Because it's a very loaded question. We could be
What
here
do
for
you do? Can be both. Like um, let's start with business.
Yeah, for sure. So I am an intuitive leadership coach. So I really use my intuition and I work with women, mostly entrepreneurs, coaches, not all coaches, but entrepreneurs who are looking to do business a little bit differently. And I know you get this too.
Mhm.
Um, but I really help them to do business consciously. So not just following what everybody else is doing, but really like coming into the self, understanding how their being works, their energy, their intuition, and using that as a guide moving forward in their business, in their lives, and doing it in a way that really feels good, aligned with their values and authenticity and all of that kind of stuff. So that's my biggest piece. I do work with coaches as well. I have a coaching certification program that I started at the beginning of this year, helping coaches learn how to coach consciously,
Mhm.
um, how to use their intuition, how to use mindset, physical body work, how to do energy work, how to connect spiritually, all of those pieces, and how to do that not just for themselves, but for others as well. So That's what I do for work, but I'm also a homeschooling mama at the same time. So it's very busy over here, lots going on. And I have a beautiful husband too, and it's our anniversary today. So lots of rules, lots of
Oh,
things.
okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did. Like, honestly, before we hopped on, first of all, congratulations. And I hopped on, and I just, as I did something quickly on Instagram, I saw you just like, I just saw the tagline was the way you look at me, though. And I was like, oh, I have to come back to that. That sounds so intriguing and a cute picture of the two of you. So that's so sweet. That's amazing. Uh,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
yeah, thanks for jumping on that special day as well and doing this. Everything that you said resonates. We're speaking the same language. It's really fantastic. And I'm really curious about that certificate as well. So you're doing this, how, like, how can people, or how is it set up so that when someone says, "Oh, I want that," what's the process?
So as of right now, I've run one cohort and we're running another one fall winter. So ideally twice a year seems like what I can handle at this point. We'll see what happens if I start to bring on others for support.
Mhm.
But it is a mixture of live coaching sessions and a little bit of watching previously recorded trainings and that kind of thing. But it's about 16 weeks. So it's pretty intensive. There's 10 hours of practical coaching work that has to be achieved, and there is a final exam. So I take it very seriously as we go through. Um, but yeah, if anyone is interested in learning more about the program and what that looks like and if it would be the right fit for them, I just love to hop on a call just to chat and not to convince anybody or tell anybody that this is what they have to do in any way. I'm not that type of salesperson. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but especially for this container, you have to feel it in your soul. You have to
Mm,
have the calling for it. And I'm not here to tell you whether that's your calling or not. You'll know if that's the next step for you. So I just lay it all out. This is what we do.
amazing. And when
And
they have that certificate, then you have, like, you give them an official uh,
hmm,
title and everything, and then they can go through more training with you, or how's that?
Yeah. So once you go through the 16 weeks, you become a certified conscious coach. You receive a certificate, all of that. So it's very official. In the method that I created is called the mind, body, spirit method. So it includes mindset, it includes energy work, it includes body work. I also have a background in holistic nutrition. So
Mm,
I bring that in a wellness aspect too. So I love to support these coaches on being able to coach on all levels of the being.
mhm,
So tapping into all of the different areas, emotions, mindset, energy. And then there is a spiritual aspect to it, not religious, but it can be if that's whatever your beliefs are, whatever you want to bring into it. But it's really just this idea or the concept that we we are here as a part of something whole, like bigger than ourselves, greater than ourselves. And yeah, bringing faith and trust into our lives and into our businesses and how we coach others is a huge piece to it too for me. So yeah, and then once you complete the 16 weeks, I also offer business support. So
mm,
if you're a brand new coach, we go through how to build that, how to start that, how to bring in clients. What do you do next, kind of thing. Or if you
mhm.
have an established business, how to bring this aspect into your business.
Super
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah, that's so cool. And I feel like a lot of the women that I'm talking to right now, they do get it that you actually need that piece, like all the pieces to fully go through your business, or to have that fully embodied business experience, I want to say. Because if you're only focusing on mindset, or your strategy is leading the way, but then you don't have the spiritual aspect or the somatic aspect in place, if it's not sinking into your body, if you have, not that connection with your body and you make decisions based on someone else's telling you or based on your paper and it's not sitting
Mhm.
right with you, it's just never gonna work in that way,
Mhm.
that it could possibly be working. So I love that. And I also, it's funny, we have a very similar, obviously, way of working with women. And then also that element that comes in, I did make that decision as well to just go through a training to become a trauma-informed somatic breathwork facilitator. And I just feel that has given me the ability to truly add something extra that I was always thinking in my coaching programs and or also the retreats that I was hosting and the workshops that I'm doing, like something is missing. And now I feel like, oh yes, now I knew what it was. So
Yeah,
I love that we are at this level, like that women are simply allowing themselves to add these levels and layers to their services and to their businesses so that it is conscious, it's holistic. And yeah, totally excited and happy that I'm hearing that and seeing that you're doing that too. Amazing.
yeah. I always call it fifth dimensional. Like this
Hmm.
is fifth dimensional coaching. We are not just coaching to one aspect of the being because we are so multidimensional. We're so complex as human beings that, I mean, there are specific modalities that are maybe going to be more productive or effective for certain
Hmm.
people. But as a whole, it's so great to be able to connect with somebody as a coach and notice and recognize, oh, this is where this is blocked, or I can guide you in this direction here, or I'm seeing this and maybe you're not seeing this for yourself. And we can kind of explore that on whatever level that looks like. So, yeah, I love it. I love it.
Amazing, amazing. Now, let's go to that other aspect of you, and that is homeschooling mama. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. How old are your children?
So I have two boys,
Mhm.
and my oldest is 8, and my youngest is 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
8 and 6 here, also boy.
Okay, same. And you have two boys too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
busy.
It's full on. Yeah. Energetic.
Mhm,
Okay. And you
mhm.
decided to homeschool them. Is there like, can you share a little bit how this, like, was that always clear for you? How was that journey into
Yeah.
homeschooling?
It's a bit of a long story, but I'll try to keep it as concise as I can. It evolved over the years, and so it started off. You know, I put my son. We were living in a small city, and I put my oldest son into a sort of a preschool type thing. It was Waldorf based, so I'm not sure if
Mhm.
you're familiar with the
Yes.
Waldorf. Yeah, so it was Waldorf based, and he really enjoyed it. And really, that was just to give him an outlet so that I could also work at the same time. So he was there a couple times a week. And I had a baby at the time as well. So it was just to give him that extracurricular, I guess. And that was the year that, yeah, his next year would have been kindergarten. And that's when COVID happened and the craziness of everything. And it just so happened that the school that he was at said, we're going to offer a kindergarten program.
Mhm.
We've never done that before, but we're going to open it up and then you can just stay here. And it's mostly outside based. So it was a really great opportunity for him to just stay with the kids that he was with already, not any crazy changes, because as we all know, that time it was like you're in school and then you're doing school online and then you're back in school. And there was a lot of chaos at the time. And I just wanted him to have that sense of, security and just feel like everything is, just that routine. And so he was in for that year and he loved it. And the following year, my husband and I decided to sell our home and go on an adventure. So we ended up moving to Mexico and we moved to Costa Rica and we just traveled for that whole year. And we kind of unschooled, I would say at that point. We didn't really do any major schooling. And we had the time of our lives. It was absolutely incredible. So when you talk about sovereign, I was like, this is the freedom. This is what we created in our lives. And we ended up coming back to Canada. So we're originally Canadian in Ontario. And we moved to a small beach town. And it's funny, I say beach town, people are like, there's beaches in Canada. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's on a giant lake. It's not the ocean.
Um,
Um, and we plan to only be in Canada for 6 months because we did purchase a place in Mexico, but it wasn't built yet. Um, so at the time, it was kind of, we were in this, limbo stage. And I decided, like, let's not put him in school. We'll just continue with the homeschooling, see where this goes, because we might be living in Mexico. We don't really know what we're doing. And he loved it. And then my youngest one started, getting a little bit older. He's kindergarten age right now. And they really enjoy it. And they go to a forest school once a week. That's today. So I can do this as well. So they do have a lot of interaction with friends and they're really highly involved in sports. And we have a lot of homeschooling families in the community here too. And yeah, so we didn't move to Mexico. We do have a place there. We didn't move. We actually just stayed put exactly where we were. And it's been a couple of years now. We're going on our third year of being back here. And yeah, it just kind of naturally fell into that. And I don't want to get into like politics and all of that kind of stuff, but for me, it's really, and my husband, it's really important for us to be the ones that at this age are the teachers, are the influencers, are the go-to people, are the ones teaching the foundational pieces, and a lot of lifestyle and a lot of, not just the math, the writing and reading, but the the important lessons that we learn at that young age and creating that connection. And that's all been really, really important for us. And yeah, it's been tough at times, I'm not gonna lie, but
Oh, I
we
imagine.
do love it. And I keep on
I feel like every day when I like there's always this guilt giving your children away. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. There's the other side where the tiny little part of you, maybe sometimes bigger, that says freedom when they finally take off and go and say, bye, mommy. But when there's those days when they're not so happy going and the mornings and and especially I've had my kids with me for 8 months straight in that transitioning phase from relocating from Thailand to Bali, and due to other factors that they were just with me for 8 months, and that was kind of homeschooling, even though we did unschooling maybe then, however you want to call it. We were just like being together throughout the day, and it naturally created its own routine, and we did hear little things, and I was like in between playing with them. I would do things for my business, and then I looked at myself like 3 or 4 months in thinking that also works. I mean, it does kind of work, right? And they always learn something. And that's the cool thing about it. Like, as long as you kind of get them into um, some sort of challenges and stimulate them, but you don't have to put them in a box so that they can tick off things from a list that someone else thinks that's required so that they are going up a level. And that always felt to me so forced. And so we're very fortunate now that we're here, and that's why we are, well, why we relocated is because there is a school here that does exactly that, what I wanted for my boys, to really create leaders, in, like, it's called empathy school, and that the name is already like program here. And so the parents are very much involved, and we are, um like, it feels a lot better leaving than in the morning, and knowing that the environment is created for them. Um, yeah, but it's interesting. Like, don't you think also in general how all these little tiny decisions, who prepared you for that when you go through motherhood or parenting in general?
Yeah, right? I know.
Yeah. Oh
It
man.
is, it is like it's all about intuition. It's
Mm,
all about making those decisions in the moment. You can plan your future as much as you want, but when I was in my early 20s and late teens, like I didn't even think I was going to be a mom. I'm the oldest of six kids, and I was like, I think I'm good. Is that the life that I want? I don't know if I can handle that. And then you fall in love, and it's like, oh, no, I do want this, and I do want to create this, but how do I do this in a way that works for me, and how do I do it in a way that's going to support them and doing things a little bit differently than how I see everybody else doing things. And yeah, yeah, nothing prepares
wow.
you for it.
The eldest of six, yeah. Okay, let's go into this a bit. So, would you say, or maybe, yeah, who were you before you met your husband? Who is Catherine before you went on all this life?
Yeah,
We-
I like that question. Um, because I met my husband really young. So we've kind of grown up together, which
Mm,
is really interesting. And I don't know if it's rare or not, but like to be able
it
to go
is.
through growth aspects of yourself and continue to stay together. It's like I am not
Mhm.
the same person that I was. He's not the same person that he was. So we met
Yeah.
in high school, and
Wow. Okay.
yeah, we dated at a young age. I was 15 when we started dating. And then we ended up splitting up for a few years. I went to university, and we spent quite a bit of time apart, and ended up coming back together just very randomly. I ended up moving to a home that was very close to not even where he lived, but where his mom was living. So it was like a very strange thing. And we just reconnected. We went out for coffee, and we were talking and things like that. And we ended up hanging out again. And yeah, got married. So we've been together for a really, really long time through a lot.
Mm.
But yeah, your question was, who was I before him? As a
So
very young
yeah.
little girl.
Well, then that doesn't apply. But then, okay, that's so impressive. So, wow. Then this is a huge day. Are you going to celebrate big today? Or is it now like, yeah?
Yeah, I think just because, well, it's a Wednesday here, so it's tricky. He's working, I'm working. So funnily enough, where we live right now is right by the beach that he proposed to me on. So my
Nice.
parents used to have a cottage up here. They're no longer together, and we don't have the cottage, but it just so happened that we landed here. And so I think we might go down to that area where he proposed. And yeah, it's quite sentimental up here. I don't think we'll do anything grand. We might just get some sushi with the kids for now. But next year's our 10 year. So next year will be big.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Nice. Love that. Amazing. I mean, this is the Sovereign Mamas podcast, right? So we're talking about everything from motherhood, mompreneurship, business, like spirituality. Is there anything that, you wish you knew before you came onto that path of motherhood that you would like to share with someone who might not be struggling, but who might be like at a place where like, oh,
Yeah.
I
There's
don't even
so
know
much.
what it is. Like, oh,
Yeah. There's so much. I think just in a general sense, um, I think it's really just, I mean, we're all on our own paths. Our souls are here to experience the struggles, to experience the lessons, to go through the highs, to go through the lows. And, just kind of surrendering a little bit to that, being open to healing, being open to looking at yourself, doing the personal development work, seeking out mentors, seeking out people that can support you, to give you space. Because entrepreneurship, motherhood can be very lonely at times. It can be very, very lonely. And I think like you created such a beautiful community. I've also created a community of women specifically. I love to bring women together in this space of, no matter what you do or where you are in life, we've got your back. People are there who have your back, who are there to support. So finding a tribe in some way to help you, whether it's a tribe for a day, like, or it's a tribe that you're with for the rest of your life, it's like, we're not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to carry through this. And just as somebody in my own experience who's gone through a lot of healing, a lot of trauma in my life. And without that support, like I would never be where I am today. My husband and I would never be where we are today. We wouldn't have a marriage. We wouldn't have a relationship. We've gone through a lot of stuff. And yeah, we're not meant to do it by ourselves. So finding those people, those support systems,
mm,
that's really key. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's definitely, yes, I can just say 100% because it's a lot of times we do but like sit or maybe are stuck in our heads thinking we have to like figure this out by ourselves. And yet that's the moment when um yeah, when it's not flowing or when it's time to like how valuable is it to just reflect something back to someone, or get it reflected back from someone, I should say, when you are always circling in your own thoughts or you just can't see the path, and then someone says and say, what about that? Or how about this? And so yeah,
Mhm.
community, collaboration, co-creation. That's why I also truly believe that nowadays more women are building communities and movements like these because we get to a point in life where we say, hang on, this can't be it. This can't there has to be another way. And I love
Mhm.
how there's so much like sense of abundance when it comes to how we're talking um shoulder to shoulder, and I'm happy for you, you're happy for me, and this is how the world changes, right? And we're creating these new uplifting leadership communities, basically. And
Mhm.
especially for mamas, I feel we're so saturated, we're so overstimulated, we're so, oh my gosh, and not a lot of us have that support system and or are even, understanding that they should be reaching out or that there is such a thing as support, right? So
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm. It's huge. Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so important. Like, even just online, I go through and it's probably just my algorithm, but there's so many coaches that are doing what we're doing, right?
Hmm.
So many, but I see that as this is beautiful because that just means that there's so many people who need this. There's
Yes,
so many people who are out there who are doing this work. And it's like, again, I'm not meant to do this all by myself. I can't help everybody. Like we need a
exactly.
lot of people doing this work to inspire, to lead, to guide, and to do it in the way that is doing it differently than the way it's always been always been done, and to show women that there is a space to open up, there is a space to co-create, to lead your life in this more conscious way, right?
Mhm.
I
Mm.
love every time I see somebody else doing something similar to me, I'm like, yes, yes,
Yes.
this is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Um, what is one thing, I mean, when you think about like you already said it, like tap into your intuition, um, really surrender. That's one thing that I take away from our conversation here. Is there anything else you would like to add? Maybe some nugget of wisdom that you live by, a truth where you say, okay, this pulls me out each time I hear it.
So good. Yeah. Actually, it's really funny that you say this, because I was just in my leadership call with my with my community yesterday, and I was talking about alignment.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's kind of a buzzword right now in the personal development world, in the business world too, like in the conscious business world. What does it mean to be in alignment? What is that all about? And I work with a lot of women who are trying or working at getting into alignment with their lives, with their businesses, with whatever that looks like. And it's such a beautiful thing to strive for. I think it is really important to always check in. Is this in alignment for me? But in order to do that, we have to know who we are and what we desire and all of those things. There's so many different layers to it. But just because you're in alignment doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean that it's instant results. It means that it's inevitable. It means once you get into alignment, where you want to go and what you're trying to create is going to happen no matter what. But if you're in that sort of in between stage where, what you desire hasn't quite manifested yet, it doesn't mean that you're out of alignment. It's just you have to hold that faith. You have to hold that trust. You have to keep going. So whether you're a mom, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're both, it's those times that are really testing you to be like, can you hold this faith? Can you believe in yourself? Can you keep going even when what you want hasn't shown up just quite yet? And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs quit. I think that's where a lot of moms break down and, could really use community and support in that space, and entrepreneurs too, right? So, yeah, I think it's great to be in alignment, but also recognize that alignment doesn't mean everything's perfect. Alignment, you could be in alignment and going through one of the hardest times of your life,
Mm.
because that's what you're meant to be doing, because that's what your soul came here to experience in that moment. You're so in alignment that you're feeling it, you're going through it. And if you just hold and stay the course, what you're working towards is going to show up. It's part of your co creation of it. So, yeah, that's just another thing I'll throw out there, because I think
Mm.
we get really stressed out in that in between phase of like, what am I doing? Am I aligned? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? All of those things. So, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and also sometimes people think it's something they tick off a list, right? Oh, now I'm in alignment. I'm done.
Yeah,
It's like,
just the beginning.
yes.
Yeah.
And maybe since you bring this to the table, what's your process, or what do you feel like is helpful for someone who says, I don't know, like how am I getting into alignment, or how can I check I am? Do you, yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
go into,
So part of how I work with my clients, this is the first step. So whenever someone comes in to work with me, if I am their business coach, more specifically, we align. And so there's a bunch of different things that we go through, and not like a checklist, but it's just building that awareness, that self-awareness. So we take a look at things like, what do I desire? So we go through, what are the things that I really desire for myself in this lifetime? We talk about purpose. What is my purpose here? Connecting with what that looks like. Why am I here? What am I meant to be doing? How am I meant to be serving? Especially as entrepreneurs, it's like, We're not just here to sell stuff. We're here to serve. We're here to create and make a difference in some way, shape, or form for other people. And so that's another piece that we tap into. And then there's an energetic piece here too. So I created something called the 6 energy profiles. And from working in coaching for as many years as I have been, many, many years, I've come to recognize that there are 6 main profiles of people, and we all have these profiles within us. And it's just really how you transmute energy. And so you have these abilities within you that are kind of your superpowers as a human being, and you can use this in your business. So kind of like different archetypes. This is what I've come up with to really support my clients. So we tap in, what's your energy profile? What are your dominant ways that you transmute energy? And then we look at identity. How are you showing up in the world? Is it matching who you want to be in this world,
Mm.
right? How do we create that aligning with your higher self, right? And then what are the goals that you have for yourself? So there's a whole bunch of different things that we go through, but that's just kind of the beginning, checking in with those. The other piece too is, what are your values? What's really important to you? Why are you here doing what you're doing? What does that look like too? So that we have all these pillars to, as you navigate your life, as you navigate your business, whenever you're not feeling like effective, or if you're feeling off, we kind of go back to those things. Well, are you in alignment with your values right now? Are you in alignment with your energy? Are you in alignment with what you actually really want for yourself? Are you in alignment with your purpose, right? All of the different things that kind of create who you are in this world before you start serving.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the aspect of
Yeah,
alignment for me. Yeah.
that's cool. That's a really great way of describing your process, and I also love how you innovate things and create things like with the certificate. That's really cool, and then that you have these profiles. And I'm curious if that's in connection with human design and maybe another thing, like if you mix them. But it just also shows how you yeah, like you're building your own uniqueness around your creativity, and that was what makes you then so special, and what people then, I'm sure, drawn to and want to work with you, because it really is outstanding. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. That means so much.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think, well, one of the one of the energy profiles is the visionary. So that's my dominant profile, and I really see things
mm,
before they happen. I have a way of seeing things, or seeing things in people, before they realize it for themselves. That's kind of what I love to do. So that's exactly what I do. I receive a lot of downloads actually in how I create, and the conscious coaching certification was one of those downloads. The 6 energy profiles. It is a book that I wrote. So you take a quiz to figure out which one you are, and it goes through and explains how to create your most aligned life using what your profile is.
mm,
So that was also a download that I received. So I receive a lot of this, and it's like, it's not me. It's not me. It's just working through me. I'm just the channel that's bringing
mm.
it forward, to support people in this way. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it's 11:11 here.
Beautiful.
The angels are with us. So good. When people reach out, obviously it's in the show notes, but what is your main way? Facebook, Instagram, would you like to also, maybe do you have a freebie they can start? Or you said hop on a call. Is that the first way?
Yeah, whatever, I'm just kind of an open book. Whatever feels like is
Hmm.
pulling you in. What is interesting for you? I have a few different Instagram accounts, but I'm quite active on Instagram. So I would say, yeah, it's more of a personal account, is my mind.body.spirit.mama account. And then if you're more interested in the business side of things, if you are an entrepreneur, my handle is at consciously led by Kat. If you are interested in the coaching certification side of things, then my account is at conscious conscious coach underscore certification. So I'll give you
Okay.
all of those, but any of those you can reach out. And my 6 energy profiles book is actually free. So
Mm.
if that is interesting to you at all, it's a free download. So
Oh,
you can choose
perfect. Yeah, we'll link
something that
it
I
directly.
yeah, everybody can access and take a look at, and yeah, find out what your dominant profile is. It's pretty fun.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Catherine. This was really interesting. Like I said, I knew it. I felt it. It was very insightful, so aligned with
Mm.
this mission here on the podcast, on this in this movement. And I know that when the mamas out there are listening to this, I can feel that, from the way you present things, there is just a lot of things people can take away from and grasp and hold on to. And that's the whole purpose of this show. Just give you a little bit of, okay, it's not that hard. Okay, there's just a few things to shift and let's keep going, right? So thanks for sharing this. Thanks for being here and sharing your medicine with our listeners. And
Oh,
yeah,
thank you, Julia. I so appreciate that. I'm so happy that we connected, and I'm excited to continue this conversation on my podcast.
yes,
Well,
on your show.
so your listeners can listen and yeah, hear your side of things too, which I think is pretty fun. I'm excited.
Perfect.
Thank you
We'll
so much.
we'll chat soon and thanks for listening, everyone. And until the next episode. Bye, everyone.